you want to know how to become a sneakerhead. Now, many channels, they show they sneakers, but I made no souls, no glory to go ahead and connect with people, and I stand on that. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say how I feel and how we together should go ahead, push forward, becoming a sneakerhead, how to do it, and be smart about it. The first step in becoming a sneakerhead is acknowledging the fact that you want to be a sneakerhead. Clap it up for everybody out there. Now, we all got our opinions on what's a sneakerhead. How many sneakers do you have to own? Do you have to be a YouTuber? Nah, none of that is true. You could be a sneakerhead with 20 pair of sneakers. You could be a sneakerhead with 10. You could be a sneakerhead with 1,000. 1,000, wow, it doesn't matter. But being a sneakerhead, the first thing I would say is knowing what you're getting into. The sneaker culture right now, everything's fast. Everything is in motion. So if you want to come into this game, the number one thing I say to do to start off is be in the loop. That's being in the know. Know what's going on. So you gotta know where the sneakers are, where they gonna drop, and how they gonna drop. If you don't do that, how you gonna get them? So I say a good thing to do is your local area. You know the sneaker stores. Everybody's different. I don't care if it's a big company. You might have someone tell you something different. I would go in there on one day and ask someone, hey, what's the release procedure for this? And honestly, I'll go back again in another day or two and ask someone else, because this will give you a better idea of, it's a numbers game. Some people tell you things in this game the right way, and some tell you a bland way. Some may even fib a little bit. So you want to know, okay, this store does it like this. They're not lying to me. Oh, this store does it like this. Now we know if you like a sneaker, for example, Reebok, Nike, New Balance, Adidas, you got to know the main thing is they're going to have a release via their website or their app. So you definitely want to follow their Instagrams, their Twitters, and from there, so any social media period, and you'll get an idea on the release procedure and the date, and if the dates move. This is very critical. For every city, you have your mom and pop stores. That's your sneaker stores that got accounts with these companies. It's a little different approach where you may have to go in there a little more, you want to go in there a little more. Never go on a release date. I will say that. It's already hectic. They don't got time to focus on you. Go in there on a nice quiet day, maybe a Monday, maybe a Wednesday, and just ask them, hey, I'm new to the sneaker culture, or I'm new to this, and what's the release procedure to get these shoes? I noticed that you have sneakers on the wall, but as far as your hype releases, how do we go about that? And also, try not to gauge the conversation in whereas you just want to shop there for hype releases, because stores that are mom and pop owners, they have to make a certain amount of money. Now, I'm not saying just go in there and buy things so you could show them, hey, I want to be down, but occasionally you might, say, hey, you know what? I noticed this store, this is on sale. Maybe you could, buy socks, buy a shirt, sneaker cleaner, something to keep the relationship going. Now, I also would say, I'm not just going to tell you how to buy something just to do it. The sneaker cleaners out there, a lot of them, since we were growing up, not good for your sneaker. So you got to know. But the main thing with these mom and pop stores, build a rapport, ask questions. It don't even got to be about sneakers. You might be in there with your son, your daughter, and a conversation come up. Oh, my daughter likes these. Okay, and then that's how you build a relationship. It's not about just, hey, I want these shoes, help me get. No, you got to understand. Everyone is just like us. We understand life, we understand the game. You got to know people, they might have been asked this 5 times for the day. So just take it easy, build your relationships. Keep showing your face. That's the main thing. Show your face, show your face, show your face. I should make a song about that. That right there would get you in the know, get you in the loop. And it might be a point to where the store might already have their people, but what if one day a person who purchases from that store is out of town and you're that size, you're going to get it. So my thing is connect with people, social media, connect anybody that you know, connect with them, ask them questions. No question is a stupid question. So you build your relationships in store, follow these main companies online, and even Google, even search, even ask. Try to find all sneaker stores in your area that are mom and pops, and that'll be a good jump start to get an idea on release procedures and how each store operates. Release procedures, you definitely know. Some stores I'm hearing still do the ticket method, where you go get a ticket, they pull it out of the box, and oh, you won, oh my gosh. Then your size is on the paper. Most companies now are doing it by apps, online releases, or in store, where you just go ahead, they put your name in the computer, then they pick that way. You know, it's like a raffle. So that's just how that is. You want to go ahead and put that work in. Unless you are rich, even if I gave you all the releases you want, you can't afford them, including me. So you have to know going into this game what sneakers you like, what colors you like, what you're going for. Is it going to be a certain brand? Is it going to be a certain silhouette? You have to know, all right, I'm in the sneaker culture. I'm going for this, this, and this. And then now you know your angle. Also, know this. The sneaker game is very funny. I would select at least 4 to 5 sneakers that you like, or at least that's in motion right now, and go from there, because you may like Dunks, you may like Air Force Ones, but you keep hitting on Jordan ones, you know? So pick something that, you know, in this sneaker game, you can't be too selective. You got to gear yourself towards, say, hey, you know what? These Barclays are out of, these Adidas Shell Toes are out of. Whatever your niche is, pick a few sneakers that you could keep seeing yourself wear year round, and then go from there. Because I guarantee you, the sneaker you want the most, it's a chance you ain't going to hit on them. So you got to be mindful of that. Next thing to do in the sneaker game, for all the sneakerheads who want to get into this game, is know you may lose friends and you may lose family. And I say that out of a sense of people get frustrated when they can't have things. That's natural. But I've seen it happen in this culture. I never been through it personally with hate. But when you start hitting on that sneaker you love, it's going to be some loved ones or people you thought was close ones. They might get away from you. They'll be back, but you'll just have to know how to deal with that. I don't get into that, but if I hit on a release 2-3 times in a row and a person that I'm rocking with don't hit, sometimes they end up a little salty, and that could hurt your relationships with a lot of people out there. And that's one of the big things, I guess, in this culture that people overlook is, man, it's like when you're doing time and you have someone in your cell and you're leaving, they feel bad. And if you're making strides to getting what you want and that person not hitting, most of the time it's because they not putting in the work. They'll go ahead and give you a cold shoulder, and you got to be able to take that. Never adjust what you're doing in this sneaker game for someone else. If you putting in the legwork, you getting them raffles, you hitting online, and they not, that's on them. Now, it's occasionally some people out there that they're doing everything and they just not hitting. When you're not hitting in this game, usually it's sneaker size. If you're doing everything I'm doing, meaning you're on these apps, you're online, you're talking to people in store, and you're just trying to purchase, you have your card information updated on these apps, like the sneakers app, confirmed, and you're still not hitting, especially on general releases, what we call GRs, it might be that you're a sneaker size that's hard to get. Now, remember, when you're trying to get these sneakers, you're battling bots. You're battling people who's even asking their grandmother, their uncle, their auntie, their girlfriend, their boyfriend to help them. And if you have a sneaker size, let's say 11.5 and larger, you're minimizing your chances because they make less of those pairs. One of the hardest pairs to hit on, that size 12.5, man, it's tough. They make limited quantities in those. So when you got an 11.5, 12, 12.5, 13, it's very difficult to hit. And I got some friends like that, and it's frustrating. And I know sometimes They want to quit, but they keep going, and you just got to look past it. When you know that you're a size 12 and a half, maybe you may got to consider going to a size 13 because it's more odds. But then, of course, you're still not getting what you want, and it's opening the door for others. So y'all got to decide that. But it's tough, man. To be successful and becoming a sneakerhead is all. I kept talking about relationships, talking to people in stores. Well, guess what? What if I told you when you're in the know and people are getting used to you, they're going to start coming to you. Now, you don't have to be the biggest sneakerhead. You could only have one pair. But if people know you're looking out for info and it's supposed to be a supposedly shock drop gonna happen or a release in the area, but people don't know if it's gonna be first come, first serve, people you know will ask you. So you will be trying to seek information, but people also will come to you. So you got to be ready as well, because I love when people come to me and I can help them. It all comes back. So you want to go ahead and stay on point, stay on top of the game, and deliver. The life of a sneakerhead may consist of course, you got your day-to-day. You wake up, you stretch, drink some water, you get ready for school or work. But it gotta be, you say them prayers and you go along with your day. Sneaker news, Instagram, Twitter, these companies, they might update you on something you never know, or just even know a fire drop is coming out. You need to be in the know. You're a sneakerhead now. Okay, you're in the sneaker game because you just want to buy some sneakers here and there. It don't work like that. It gets addicting. You're going to want it. You're going to want more. My advice is be in the know every day. It could be a little overwhelming, but that's why you build your rapport with people, because then if you take a day or two off, people will contact you. On becoming a sneakerhead, this is just for beginners. Please, I beg y'all, update your phones, update all your apps. There's nothing worse than hitting on a release, for example, the sneakers app, and you didn't have your app updated, and it was exclusive access, and you didn't see it come through on your phone because your app wasn't updated. And you go in there and it says exclusive access, and then it says sold out because your pair went to somebody else. Now, for the most part, the way the drops are now, but at the time I'm releasing this video, they give you a notice. Some people like it, some don't, saying this sneaker's gonna drop. It's called a shock drop. That's what's going on right now, and it'll notify people. Sometimes it doesn't. So you still want to be in a loop with people, but I will say sometimes it does still throw a notification out there. Some advice would be to update, have your iPhone, your Android, whatever phone you have that phone that whereas when you plug it in at night, it's going to automatically update. Now, one kicker is, as for me, I have to get up early. A lot of updates start when I wake up, and I cannot hear my alarm clock because of that. So now it puts more pressure on me to say, hey, I know I got to update my app. It's just a day of life. You know how to wake up, get dressed, buy sneakers, eat, do what you got to do. Well, that's another thing I got to do from the day to day, maybe multiple times a day. I got to check, hey, let me see if my app updated. Because if it's not, depending on the app update it is, you won't get your notification, or even worse, you would go to submit that payment for that sneaker and it rejects automatically because you didn't update your app, and them bug fixes, they not fixed. So that's real as far as like just knowing your phone is right. Knowing your phone is up to date. That's critical. That's huge already. You know what I mean? As far as copping these sneakers, man. So the last thing I'm going to say on becoming a sneakerhead, you got to just don't be grimy, man. If you know it's a sneaker out there that somebody wants and it's in their size and it's on a website, it's in a store. Some stores even call people. Believe it or not, when they have a contract and they got to get these pairs going, they might even call you. And they might say, hey, I'm sorry. Yo, Tim, I don't have a size 11, but I got a size 9. Go ahead. let them know you'll call them right back. Ask people you know. Build relationships this way. I'm telling y'all, it comes back. I cannot go over the amount of times I know people who say, I don't like that sneaker. It doesn't even, and you know what's funny? When you're in it for the money in the resale game, that's what could hurt you, because we all know if it's let's say a sneaker releases and it's a lot of hype and it's selling for $2,000, $1,000, but the sneaker retails for $170. Obviously, no one's going to get upset at you for trying to get a pair for yourself. People would even try to get 10 pairs if they could. But what's wild about it is the sneaker goes for $170 before tax, and you're probably going to make $60 off of them. And you go ahead and backdoor somebody that would have helped you out, and you post them online just to show you got them and others didn't get them, you just lost a relationship right there. So to me, it's just sneakerhead rules to this, you know. We could go into so much. I could push and pull in so much directions of what being a sneakerhead is about. But if you don't have no loyalty to this game, it ain't for you. It'll chew you up, spit you out fast. So I would say these are the first rules of becoming a sneakerhead. Do what you got to do. Put in the work. It will come back. Build your relationships with people. Get your sneakers and don't rush. These things cost a lot, but it's real lovely when you hit for retail. Last but not least, I got to say this. You can go on StockX. You could go on GOAT. You could go on Flight Club, Stadium Goods, eBay. They have more companies, even Sneaker Con. Go on these sites. Try to bargain with people. See what a sneaker's going for. There's nothing wrong with if you're going to buy a sneaker at Sneaker Corner, eBay, and the price is a certain price, and you say, okay, can I do this? Or could we set up a agreement where maybe I bring this sneaker back, you hold that. We could do a trade with a little money on top. You never know what someone's going to ask. What someone's going to go for until you ask. So if I'm at SneakerCon, let's just be real. Most sneakerheads think the same. So if I see a price for $400, usually that's that man's price. One thing with me is you have the right to ask anything. But if a price is $400 and then you're going to say, well, could you sell them to me for $395? It's kind of like, come on, boss. But if you're going to say, hey, you know, these going for $4. Are you selling them for $4? But I see online right now, they just dropped this morning to $310. Meet me halfway. I'm right here. I don't want to deal with shipping, waiting on the sneaker getting authenticized and all that. Let's do a deal for $340, $350. That's how you negotiate. You got to have some ammo to say, I want to pay this because of this. Now we working together, you see? So this is for all my sneakerheads who getting into this. No, it's fun, but it take more work than you think. And sneakers, even though the economy is up and down and sneakers are dropping, always know in the long run, sneakers usually hold value. And it's not a game to where people take it lightly. People work hard, and we all do, and we just want them sneakers. It feels good, and to a lot of people, this is how they make their living. So you want to just be mindful of how you deal with people selling sneakers, because they'll put a word out about you, and then now it's just like, okay, nah, that reference ain't good. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who think I should have touched on something else, put it in the comments. Ask me a question. You know what I mean? When y'all do subscribe, y'all don't understand. It's bigger than just a YouTube thing saying subscribe. It's about now we are part of the family. If I say something, you could critique me. You know what I'm saying? I have my links in the description to follow me on IG, because you could say, hey, I want to know about this. Do it right in the comments. I'm going to respond to you. You know what I'm saying? No question is a stupid question. And with that said, start your journey. Get up and running. Comment below. We together. NSNG.